There's like one specific thing in life that I'm a walking contradiction about. It's kicks. And not just like kicks in general, I'm talking about kicks in a very specific place. The streets.
Perfect.
On average, when we talk about self-defense, I pretty much always tell people not to throw kicks in the street because it's dangerous. But there's some exceptions, like I probably would. I would tell people not to, but I probably would. And even I would circumstantially. So, with that being said, here's a list of the different reasons that I would or would not throw a kick in the street.
Right, left, right.
And yes, this is a part 2 if you want to see part 1. Nope, right there. Bing! Click that button right there. So reason number 1 you may not want to kick when you're in a street fight. Number 1, if you haven't sparred, period. I don't care how many heavy bags you've kicked. I don't care how many times you've hit that little Taekwondo pad. I don't care how many times you've had a Muay Thai guy hold a shin guard against his leg and you've just whacked it like it's a banana tree. It doesn't matter. If you have not repped out situations of you throwing a kick and not getting punched in the face, not getting double-legged, not missing and then falling on your butt, then you're not ready. There's a reason street fights should be rare. They should be. They could very well be the most dire situation of your entire life. So if you haven't done those reps, you should not even think about or even contemplate thinking about throwing a kick in a situation like that. Okay, reasoning number 2. What you got on? Are you wearing like gym shorts? Are you wearing tennis shoes? Are you in a situation where you're not gonna slip and fall and bust your butt? Because let's be honest, if you've got like really thick jeans on and cowboy boots, I'm gonna maybe say don't do it. If you've got like a button up and a suit on, maybe it's not the day. Pretty much what I'm trying to say here is the risk is too high, and I'm not talking about like the risk of you like ripping your pants. I'm talking about the risk of you not being able to bring that leg high enough because your pants wouldn't let you, and then this foot, here, I'll give you an example. This is like the limitation of your jeans, the ability for you to spread out your legs. If I want this leg to go up higher, the limitation of my jeans is going to cause, even if I force this leg up, watch what happens to this base leg. That's when people go flat, okay? So if you have that limitation on your legs, whether it's jeans or just flexibility of your own leg itself, then you're not going anywhere. Well, you are going somewhere. It's that way. Which brings me to my next point. How flexible are you? Not just how flexible are you, how naturally flexible are you? Have you trained for so many years that you could just be able to like, bang, bring this knee all the way up immediately? Because then you might be okay. But if you have to like warm up and stretch before every class, like if you struggle getting out of bed, I would maybe say don't kick somebody in the streets. If kicks are the only thing you practice and you also kind of like have stiff legs, I would maybe look into getting into like boxing or something that involves clinch work or throws. Because even though you practice kicks all the time, if you have to warm up super heavy in order to get those kicks up high, it is not worth it for you to use it in a practical situation. That being said, if you don't want to get in a practical situation, usually you don't have to. Now to also, once again, contradict myself, because martial arts is full of contradictions, if I don't have to kick up high, then I don't have to worry about my flexibility as much. Like, yeah, I might pull something if I'm getting a little bit older, but if I'm kicking to the legs, I usually don't have to have great flexibility in order to knock out one good, really strong leg shot. Which means that number 3 is going to be our target. What are we aiming for? I feel like that was number 4. There's a very good chance I missed one. Number 3/4 is going to be our target. What am I aiming for? Usually I say never aim for the head in a street fight. I think that you can pull it off, but a street fight should not be about pulling stuff off. It should be about leaving safely. Once you start to up those risks, and especially like voluntary risks too, like there's already risks in the fight, but if you give yourself extra risk to add on top of it, you're just being dumb. Don't spin, obviously. Bang, do I think I could pull off a spinning kick? Yes, absolutely, I've trained for a long time. Would I want to give myself that additional risk to pile on top of the already risk of me like smash my head on the ground or breaking? Kicking to the body is a great example of being like bang, and you kind of assert your dominance. You go smack and you kick them in the body, the ribs, you hit them in the solar plexus, the wind knocks out of them. But guess what? You kick them in that body, this is the easiest place for you to get caught. Whoop! It doesn't take a lot of knowledge to see a foot come, especially if it's not coming fast enough, and go yelp and hold on tight. And that's all somebody needs. They need one leg, and your balance is cut in half, probably cut into even less than that, maybe like a 15th percent. 15%, not a 15th percent. That's a really low percent. But I can be really far away from somebody and smack out a leg kick and not have to worry about the risk, because if I'm coming in and go bang and I hurt somebody's leg, I have the intent of either hurting their leg or getting them to stop wanting to fight me. If I can smack somebody's leg, pow, and it hurts, or they recognize that I'm a way superior skill level than them, they might not want to fight me anymore. And a lot of the time, the fight is as much mental as it is physical. Also, these bugs are crazy. Hopefully these bugs aren't bothering you guys as bad as they're bothering me. But anyway, we talked about the target and how I can be further away to kick the legs than I am the body, or especially the head. Let's talk about our engagement. How far away are we from that person? Like, am I a pretty decent distance? Because I don't even want to try and fight you from here. If I've got this distance, I'm going to be backing up and looking for space and talking to you. But if I'm right here, I'm also probably not going to kick you. However, if you're starting to come in hot and I see that and I can step off the center line and kick, bang, one of those legs, I'm probably going to do it. Or better yet, if you're just like walking up to me puff chest like this and I can tell that you're about to swing, I might be able to sneak in a little push kick there. I just threw sand at you too. Sneak in a push kick to fold somebody and give them a second thought. Those are the different things you have to think about, like what's the distance, what's the engagement, how serious is it? Do I want to be the one that initiates because I'm at a further distance? Not only do I have to think about how far away I am when I start the engagement, but how close I am when I'm done with it. What if I miss this kick and I don't have the ability to push myself back? I'm right here in your face, and if my hands are down or if I haven't practiced the correct way, I might be screwed. So you've got to think about, what if I miss this kick? Bang, put that foot down, drop back. Are you used to that? I didn't hit it, but I still had the strength in my lower body and my core to be able to stop it, put it back down, and then shoot myself backward. Do you have the capability of missing and then clinching up and driving knees or doing whatever you need to do next? And that's just some things. There's gonna be plenty of stuff that I missed out on that can also give you a better idea of when and when not to, like a checklist. Sensei Seth's checklist of when to kick people, pretty much. So let's go ahead and break these down really quick. We're gonna pause right here. What did we just notice? This man's walking up, flicked his cig, took off his shirt, said it's time to go. Immediately, super straight legs and very bent legs. What does this mean? Usually better balance, usually better movement. And then what we see, the cardinal sin of martial arts, ready? Here, and the crossed feet. The crossed feet is a great example of things that you just don't do. And also makes for a perfect opportunity to throw a little bit of a leg kick here. And what's interesting, not only does he throw a great roundhouse kick here, but he also throws it to a high opponent and hits both legs. Hits this leg and this leg, which in this case the guy has maybe like 2 toes on the ground, if that, and what happens is that foot leaving the ground and him having a flattened opponent right on the butt. Anyway, so the idea here is understanding when to throw kicks. And when you have somebody who's super high like this, you crank out. There was absolutely no danger of this jab right here. None. Probably my favorite part about this whole thing is where this guy's foot goes for a little ride here in slow motion. Ready? Where right here he realizes that he's not on the ground anymore, and watch. This foot's gonna reach for the ground. And it's still not there. Oh, you hate to see it. Heartbreaking stuff. Anyway, guy on the left starts off with a right push kick, which gets spaced out here. He sees it coming, he pulls that leg back, he lets it go. And then guess what the guy does? He sets it up, he puts his foot down, this one right here, bink, and then he proceeds to show that he's going to throw another one of them. The guy's hand is already pretty low, and guess what? Catches it. And now here's what's really interesting. We talked about this earlier. What he's going to do is he's going to pull this foot up. Super tight jeans on means that this foot is also going to come up. So watch what happens here. Boodaloop. Pretty easy to see that one coming once that foot gets caught. You're only so flexible. And sometimes something's just got to give. And in this situation, it is the grip on this poor man's shoe. Whoop. And we're not going to show what's afterwards because, monetization and whatnot. But we are going to move on to what his buddy does that seems to work later, and it's a different way of throwing a kick. You see him framing. He's got a hand on top of the head here. He's working on this hand on the ground here, trying to scoot out and pull this butt back this way. And what he does here is he feels that pressure. He's going to take his foot
right here, put it on the back leg, and push this way, which is the idea of trying to get out from underneath, but while the guy is still standing up, which is interesting. You see this push right here, watch this, against the hip, and it looks like the knee. But anyway, you get the idea. Pushes it back, which throws the guy off balance, gives him a half a second, but because he's on his butt instead of one hip, he doesn't get back up. But anyway, that doesn't mean the kick didn't work. He didn't get punched in the face, so that's great.
But more than anything, I hope you learn how to actually talk yourselves out of these situations. Martial arts class, especially traditional martial arts classes, should be able to give you that confidence and understanding of situational awareness that you can talk through these situations. Self-defense based stuff is also usually going to give you a pretty good understanding of when stuff is about to happen. So hopefully you can train, and hopefully you can add this as a small little bit of information that you can keep in your repertoire of knowledge on when to kick things and when not to kick things. If you like this, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, do all the other stuff that everybody else tells you to do. And until next time, if you don't subscribe, you know the deal. Front leg, pretty decent distance. I'm not too worried about you because I know you can't reach me through the screen. Brisk level low, front kick to the head.